Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I wanted to speak about T-Mobile and their transition to voice over NR. So this article is a bit older, but I wanted to tie this article in as to what I wanted to speak about today in this video. So earlier this morning, I released a tweet where I tweeted out that T-Mobile is going to be and this is not my personal experience. This is coming from billions of data sets over the years, and even now still is the worst network for calling. It's a fact, right? And that tweet didn't come from my personal experience. I'm looking at billions of data sets that are out there. T-Mobile is the worst when it comes to calling, and that's what's dropping their reliability score. Now, individually, anecdotally, you might have different experiences. Some people call more than others. You might say, oh, I make about 15, 20 calls a month and I don't drop any calls. But again, you got to look at the data sets. You got to look at the scientific billions of tests that show that T-Mobile still has the worst block call rate, drop call rate. I've seen some of the more detailed reports that the engineers receive from RootMetrics. T-Mobile has the worst calling. And looking at some of the early data sets now from Root on these markets, T-Mobile is dropping significantly on the calling score, and it's hurting them overall. Yes, they're the fastest. Yes, they have the best data performance, but overall, the reliability, they're dropping. So I'm being told that, with everything that's going on, the NSA, the non-standalone, the standalone core, then the handoffs to the LTE Sprint keep sites, T-Mobile's LTE network, all of that plays a factor. As they hand off, it worsens the audio quality. I mean, I've heard it all, and then voice over NR itself is not stable enough yet. So there's going to be some issues there too. That's what I've been hearing. But the reason I wanted to make this video and kind of voice my opinion is because even before all of this, right, pre-merger, I'm talking T-Mobile standalone when voice over LTE was prime time, right? When it was hot. T-Mobile was still the worst at calling. And again, this is from scientific billions of data sets. They were the worst. Even Sprint was scored higher on calling. And then now I understand. Sprint did not have voice over LTE till very late in the game. They were using, outdated voice calling quality, or technology, I should say. And, that was around the time where you would make a phone call on Sprint and you couldn't, your data wasn't working. So they didn't have voice over LTE, but it was still more reliable than anything that T-Mobile had. So I'm kind of done with those excuses. Oh, we're testing voice over NR. It's like you never fully got voice over LTE right, and then, I speak to some other people. They're like, we don't really care about calling too much. It's not used much today. I don't know. People still call. People still have to call customer care. People still have to be on a voice call for a certain amount of time. Because that's some feedback that I was getting previously that, hey, I just completed a 45-minute call for my prescription, and I needed to be on hold, and I was getting ready to get to the final transfer, and then the call dropped. That's a problem for many, and Verizon and AT&T have ironed out those issues a long time ago. Verizon and AT&T have had voice over LTE in their networks for a very long time now, and they seem to have perfected it. But sometimes I speak to the T-Mobile engineers, and they're like, we're more worried about the 2.5 pops or the 600 pops, or we get compensated on getting or bonuses on getting a certain amount of 2.5 pops complete. We're not getting bonuses on our calling performance, and I'm like, I mean, I get it, but calling still matters, and it still shows that you have to look at T-Mobile from an overall standpoint to see that they're just not the best network, right? People say they're on par, but like how? They don't have a native network in Nebraska. And then people say they have the best network. And I'm like, how? When calling is scored very low. People still tell me that they have blocked calls, that they drop calls on T-Mobile. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video just to kind of, just to reach out to you guys, let you know, like, hey, you're going to be experiencing issues as they transition to voice over NR. I understand, and you just kind of have to deal with that. If it gets too bad, and, if you want to switch, you're more than welcome. But you're going to be experiencing these issues. And I don't know how stable voice over NR is going to be in moving forward, because T-Mobile technically never got voice over LTE to a super, super great standard. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel, like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.